Normally I would go, this show was born in many ways out of the long form rallies of Donald Trump and being the only person who, in this whole thing about taking, Trump complaining he was being taken out of context and all this other stuff. By the way, you're watching House Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show, etc., etc., etc. Happy Thursday, everyone. For a while there, quite frankly, his rallies have gotten so kind of detached from even having a worthwhile conversation about them. Like, it's just the same lies, only dumber. Now, don't get me wrong, they are getting increasingly funny again, but in a kind of sad way. So we'll still cover them, but we have been given a gift. We have been given a role, and that role's name is rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. This is, we now have some other long-ish form stuff to address, and we'll decide whether it's worth our time and our energy. Shut up. So that was Don Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, and I might as well just present it to you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Don Jr. Live from one of his dad's golf courses where to cover something on the wall, they have used the American flag. I think they've tucked it into a door or draped it, like it looks like it's shut in a cabinet. The way the American flag should be honored. And his guest today is the horse with no name, J.D. Mangle, this guy right here. And after he finishes selling whatever shit they're selling, he brings in Timu Ellis from Die Hard, brings in former boy band reject and captain of the closet team, JD Underpants. Now, please, in the chat room, before we get this started, I want to know what your favorite JD Vance alias is, because JD Vance is the newest one, but JD Vance was not born JD Vance. He was born, where is it? Real name. JD Vance was, James Donald Bowman, and he changed it later to James David Vance instead of James Donald, because Donald, I think he felt like Donald was a dumb name. You know what I mean? And, hey, hashtag shillbilly all the way. There was a time when he asked, let's see. I think the biggest one, I'm pretty sensitive to this conversation. You know how we always have, whether it's Michelle Bachmann and her, I wouldn't say estranged husband, just strange in general. There's a lot of these folks that are clearly brutal closet cases who have decided, instead of going, wow, I am lucky to have been born in a time where you can finally be yourself, they went, well, I don't know if I'm this anti-woman and gay. It's a little on the nose. So I think I'll pretend to be straight, get married, and then be anti-woman. Seems to be one of the strategies that comes about. And curiously enough, J.D. Vance apparently once wrote that he had convinced himself that he was gay when he was a kid. He wrote that in Hillbilly Elegy, that he once became convinced he was gay by, I think, homosexual tendencies. That might be fairly convincing. The only thing I knew about gay men was that they preferred men to women, he wrote. His grandmother quickly put that notion to rest, asking him, JD, do you want to suck dicks? This was his grandmother. This is look, there's sensitive ways of handling this, and then there's this. When your grandmama, when your mama, when your mama, when your gum says to you, ahem, JD, which stood for James Donald at that point, JD, do you want to suck dicks? And to which, of course, he replied, Mama, this is a Wendy's. According to Senator J.D. Vance's best-selling Hillbilly Elegy, the Ohio senator once told his grandmother he thought he might be gay. and into sensing. I'll never forget the time I convinced myself that I was gay. I was 8 or 9, maybe younger, and I stumbled upon a broadcast by some fire and brimstone preacher. The man spoke about the evil of homosexuals, which is what'll make you go, that sounds interesting. Oh, so you're saying that preaching against gay people is what causes homosexuality. Fascinating. I think it's great. Sure. The man spoke about the evils of homosexuals, how they had infiltrated our society, and how they were all destined for hell absent some serious repenting. At the time, the only thing I knew about gay men was that they preferred men to women. This described me perfectly. I disliked girls, and my best friend in the world was my buddy Bill. Oh no, I'm going to hell. When he brought up that issue with his mama, she replied bluntly, "Don't be a fucking idiot. How would you know that you're gay?" And he said, he explained his reasoning, and she laughed. She said, "JD, do you want to suck dicks?" According to the book. The young Vance, apparently flabbergasted, said, "Of course not. Just Billies." Sorry. Dicks plural? Is that what it takes? Well, yes, at this point, marriage between gay people is impossible. So settling down with one person is not allowed. So you're going to have to suck a lot of dicks, strange dicks. Dicks you have no interest in the person, just random dicks, truck stop dicks. That's what it means to be gay at this point in history. And he was like, "Can you tell me the middle part again?" All right. Vance wrote that episode helped him recognize that gay people, though unfamiliar, threaten nothing about Mama's being. There were more important things for a Christian to worry about. Really? That's what you took away from it? I'm going to say this sounds like something the editor put in when they heard that, that maybe there was a movie in the offing. Vance contrasted that approach with the one taken by his biological father, Donald Bowman, who recounted when he was 11. Vance's father was a member of a more religiously conservative church, the idea of which had made the world a scary and foreign place, in Vance's recounting. Now a 39-year-old U.S. senator, he doesn't say what was the approach taken by his biological father. Most Americans, I think, don't really care about same-sex marriage, Vance told Business Insider last year. Yes, because it's settled law. But you're not most Americans, are you? And you don't plan on governing for most Americans. Asshole. So, So thank you, Catherine. Thanks for the super chats, guys. Did JD Vance's mother lie on her gun registration when she was a drug... that she had a drug addiction? I'm going to guess yes. Although she may have lived in a state at the time when, I guess they were like, they handed them out at AA meetings or NA meetings. Right? Yeah. So, so he may not have, I guess, been a couch fucker. We'll find that out eventually. And he may have trouble sitting down sometimes, which is in a video that's circulating right now. But again, we find ourselves in Miss Lindsay territory with this young man. And I got to say, it must be incredibly puzzling for our gay brethren and sistren on the Democratic side who are like, what is wrong with these motherfuckers? Why can't they just get over it? Like it has never been there's never been a better time to be alive as a gay person in the United States than now, in spite of Donald Trump and his ilk. Right? Yeah. Billy was his nickname for the couch. Yes, that's what we think. All right. So now, that's it. We'll probably, if you're gaydar pegs during this interview, it's completely possible. Either Don's direction or his. Who can say,